Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about what is the encapsulation and private members in Python, what are the benefits and what is the analogy and concept of this part. And then we're going to see our three types of encapsulation and privating, which are these public, protected and private. And then we're going to see how to use getters and setters to deal with our private members. And at the end we're going to talk about this awesome property decorator, and we're going to see how this is going to help us to code and develop applications very efficient. Well, at first we got this word of encapsulation, and the meaning of this basically is hiding internal details of an object. For example, think of this way, that we got our file like this, and then inside of this we got a bunch of classes and some subclasses inside of these classes, which we're going to talk about these parts and subclasses. Basically these are in part of the inheritance, which we're going to talk later. And we got some values in each of these items. But we don't want any item in any file and any part of this program has access to another parts. And we can compare this with our scope. It's very similar right here. So for code example, let's say we got the simple class of bank account right here. And inside of this, of course, we need to have our constructor and init function. So here we got this init, and here we're going to have the self. Let's say we want to have this owner and simply balance right here. And inside of this, we're going to have this simply self.owner to be equal to this owner as well as the balance. And from earlier parts that we can have this simply object of account 1, for example. And we got this bank account right here, and we have the name, for example, let's say this Ted, and let's say we want to have 3000 for the balance. And now we can simply have this print, and we can use this acc1.balance right here. And if we run our program, you can see we got our results right here. As I told you earlier, in encapsulation in Python, we got three general types, which first one is going to be our public items. Then we're going to have our second item, which are the protected, and then at the last and third one, which are our privates. And pay attention, these items are going to be applied to these attributes and values or our functions. But how we're going to set and say to our program, for example, this balance attribute is public, protected, or private. Well, we're doing that by underscores before of our variable's name. If we don't have anything right here, it's going to be our public. So the public is going to be simply var name like this. Then for the protected, what we need to do, instead of having this simply var name, we need to have one underline right here, then the var name. And for private items, we need to have two underlines here, then the variable's name. And by this rule, that this time this is our public. We can access this right here. And then another thing that we can have, for example, we got another method right here of show balance, and it got the self, of course. And inside of this, we simply have this print of self.balance. And if we get rid of these empty spaces right here, you can see if we clear our output and run again, we got this item printing right here because of this. But if we remove this and use this acc1.showBalance and run this function, if we run again, we again got the balance of our account. This public one is going to set our variable this rule that it can be accessible from anywhere in our program. But this protected one is going to hint us that this should be used only inside of the class or subclasses. And we don't want to use it outside of this class. For example, if we have this underline right here as well as this, so we make this balance variable this protected. If we run again, you can see we got 3000 because of this show balance, and this function is going to use this item. But instead of this, if we want to have this print of simply this account1.underline balance, we clear output and run, you can see again we got this result coming up. But that we talked about this and we say this is good for using inside of the class. And actually Python don't restricts us and gives us hard rule of we're not be able to use this outside of this, but this underscore right here is something like a little hint or note for ourselves that we want to use this attribute and variable only inside of our class. and not through all of our program. But unlike this, with private members and private attributes, Python itself don't allow us to use this outside of this class. For example, you can see if we use this count1 double underscore and then this balance, if we run this, we got this attribute error of this bank account object has no attribute of balance. But you can see we got that, and that's our Python's privacy and encapsulation that won't let us do our thing. But if we get rid of this print right here, and instead of this we use this count1.showBalance, if we run this, you can see we got this result. Because we can use this inside of our account and class, but we can't use that outside of this. And we need to use this kind of function to be able to do that. And for a little recap, if we use this single underscore, it's going to hint us that use it only inside of the class, but it's not going to give us hard rule that we can't use it outside. But if we use this double, we should only use inside of the class. But you saw this function right here that grabbed this value and printed that for us. And if we, instead of this printing, use the simply return keyword right here to simply return this item for us, and for example we can have this b1 variable to equal to this item right here, and then we can simply have this printing of our b1 of course, and if we clear our output and run again, you can see again we got our result. And this kind of functions and methods that you can see right here, which are going to give us the ability and permission to get the value inside of that private attribute, is going to call our getters. As I told you earlier, we got two concepts right here, which first one is our getters and second one is our setters. And this is our getter, which is going to grab and get the value for us. And it's very good, instead of using this kind of name, we use the simply get and this underscore and the name of our variable, which in this case is going to be the simply balance. And here, instead of show balance, if we use this get balance and run, you can see again we can access to this private variable right here and we can get the result. But if we want to use this double underscore balance, we're not able to do that item. And now let's say we want to modify and change the value of this private variable right here. You know that we can't access that like regular attribute. So for regular ones, we got this, for example, count1.owner, and we equal that with this new value of John, for example. And now if we want to print that, we simply got this print of count1.owner, and if we run, you can see we got this John instead of that. But if we use this double score balance right here, and for example, let's make this 5,000 instead of 3, and if we use this get balance function and getter right here, so we have this get balance right here. If we clear output and run again, you can see again we got this 3,000 because this line cannot set the balance of account 1 to this 5,000. And we're going to do that using our setter. And for that, again, we need to create some simple method here, and this is simply going to be the set underscore balance. And then here, again, we're going to have the self, but after the self, we need to have this value here too. And this is basically our parameter that we want to set into our balance. And then inside of this and inner block, we want to have the self dot double underscore balance, and we equal that with this value that we got from the user. And now this time, instead of this, if we want to use this item, what we can do is count1.setBalance, and we pass the value that we want. For example, 5,000 right here. And now this time, if we run our program, you can see we got this 5,000 as our balance instead of this 3,000. Well, after we got these items, now we're going to talk about property decorator that we got. And that's simply going to give us this option of vSetBalance instead of this form and this syntax, simply by having this count1 and this balance, and we equal that with this 6,000. You know, because we don't have our property decorator yet, if we run this, we still got 30,000, and this is not going to work. And if we want to set our property, what we need to do here, above of our getter right here, so we come here and we put this @ and then use this word of property. And this is going to make this one the property. But we don't want our property to be getBalance, and we want that to be simply this balance. So we got the name of balance right here as our property, and here in the setter we want to have again this @, and then here we need to use the name of our property, which in this case is going to be this balance. So we're going to have this balance and use this dot setter. And make sure after this we match the names of our getters and setters together. So this has the name of balance, this one should have the name of balance too. And now this time, if we run the same code that we got earlier, but instead of using this get balance, we need to change that to this balance. And actually, because we made that this property, we can use the simply dot balance instead of that getter function. And now if we run again, you can see we got the 6000 with the fact that our item and attribute and member is private. But still, we can use that as our regular public or protected item. And this basically gives us clear syntax, controlled access, and data protection. We still use it like normal variable, but behind the scenes we can control what happens when someone reads or writes it. But you might have this question of what are the difference of using this much of additional code, and at the end we can able to modify this and use and read this item like normal and regular public variable and attribute. Well, this is the difference. If we got this balance to be public, we cannot control on which number user inputs here. But if we have this type of property and setter, we can have some conditions here. For example, we can have if our value that we want to input is negative number, so it's lower than 0, we want to print balance can't be negative. But in the else part, we can have simply this statement right here. And now this time, if we make this minus 6000, if we run, you can see we got this balance. Actually, we have misspelled this item, so let me fix this. And now if we clear our output and run again, you can see we got this balance can't be negative. And when we want printing that, it's still going to be this 30,000 that we put at first. But if we have this to be positive number and 6000, if we run again, this time it's going to set this 6000 because of this rule that we got. And then when we want printing that, we got the 6000 instead of this 3000. So this was it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and give me your thoughts in anything that you might have in the comments. And if you want to learn more about Python, this was part of our Python crash course. So make sure to turn on the notification bell to don't miss the next videos coming up, and you can check the channel for more Python videos. See you in the next one.